Hello and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, this channel is called The Conscious Trader. My name is Veda and I'm here to teach you how to trade and enter the trading industry in a calm, conscious and grounded way. Now, if you're completely new to the trading world and you're really keen to get into the trading world, yet, however, you're feeling a little bit overwhelmed, then this video is going to be perfect for you. I will be teaching you 8 of the most important things that you need to put into place in order for you to have a calm entry into the trading world and on your trading journey. And every single one of these points that I'm going to be sharing is an absolute non-negotiable. You cannot sidestep any of them. So please, my greatest wish to you is that you really do put everything that I share in this video into place in order for your experience to be as calm as possible. And also the most successful as possible. You know, if you put all these things into place, then you will give yourself an extremely incredible foundation for your own success. Personally, I blew multiple accounts, real money and funded accounts, before I actually really thought, you know what, I need to put these things into place and listen to what my mentor was teaching me and realize that actually what he was teaching me was right all along. And so please learn from me and my mistakes and don't go through the same stress that I went through. And please my strongest advice is to put these incredible yet powerful and extremely important steps into place. Some of them might sound extremely simple and very rudimentary. However, they are still super important. Step number 1 is having a reliable phone and laptop and an extremely solid Wi-Fi or internet connection. Why am I saying this? And it sounds so basic, because a lot of people trade just on their phone. Now, you will do your analysis on a platform such as TradingView, which I'm going to get to in a minute. You cannot physically really do accurate analysis on a tiny little screen on a phone. This is just going to stress you out, and it's also going to lead to bad decisions and not accurate results. What I was taught and what I teach in my mentorship as well is that you do your analysis on a solid laptop with a strong internet connection. Then you use the phone and an app to actually execute the trades themselves. That's how I operate, and I'm going to get into the apps and the platforms in a minute. But step number 1 is making sure that you have a solid, stable laptop and phone and an extremely strong connection with your internet. Because if you haven't set a stop loss on your trade and you haven't got a strong Wi-Fi or internet, you will blow your account. And I've been there, and it's happened to me, especially living in Thailand where the internet is not so steady. And I've not set stop losses, and I really regretted it. So please learn from my mistakes. Make sure you don't use your phone to set your analysis. Use your laptop and use your phone to execute the trades. Step number 2 is having a daily meditation practice. Make sure you always come into the market really calm. Don't ever come into the markets or into your trading day if you are stressed, if you're angry, or if you're having trouble with somebody, or if you're extremely tired. When you're not very clear and your mind isn't still, this will affect your decision making in your trading. And in trading, when you're actually setting the trades and you're present with the actual market, you absolutely need to have a really calm and clear and grounded and steady mind, because if you don't, you simply will struggle with the results, and whatever is going on in your mind, if it's stress, if it's anger, if it's frustration, or you're simply just extremely exhausted, which is what I've experienced a lot of in the past, then I can guarantee your trading results will suffer, because don't forget, the trading results that you get are always a mirror of what is going on within your mind. It's 80 to 90% psychology. So whatever is going on within your mind will absolutely mirror your results. So Number 2 is making sure you have a very good meditation practice every single day, whether that's in the morning, whether that's at night, or preferably just before you start trading, so that your mind is extremely clear and calm and grounded, and you can really make very concerted decisions resulting in wins with your trades. Step number 3 is making sure that you journal every single trade that you take. You can have a trading journal that's physical or digital. Personally, I like to use Google Sheets, Excel, just because it's easy to access, and it's also just, it's really easy to fill out everything. However, there's a really good online journal website called TradeZella, ZELLA. I'm going to link it in the description, and not affiliated to it. And you could also just physically use the manual trading journal. Now, why do we need to journal? Journaling every single trade, journaling what we're trading, what time we're trading, how much we're trading, whether we win or we lose, our emotions during the trade, the percentage of the trade that you either win or lose. What happens over time is you will start to see certain patterns within your trades, and you'll start to witness, say, for example, you have a few losing streaks. You will start to recognize, wait, what was I feeling in that moment? What was I doing? Was I greedy? Was I chasing? Was I frustrated? Was I angry? Was I being impatient? And you will start to see patterns of where your kind of negative traits, if you like, keep repeating themselves and keep giving you the same kind of negative results of losses. Now, what you will start to see as you journal, you will start to make the same mistakes less and less and less and less. And you will start to see where you're also, on a positive note, seeing, okay, that day I was super clear-minded. I was feeling really good in myself. I set the trade and I won it. Next day, same thing. I meditated. I had a very clear mind. I set the trade. I won it. Great. And you keep seeing the same pattern depending on your state of mind, particularly. Now, also, it's also really good in your journal to also write down volatility within the market. Maybe there just isn't a setup for that day, and you can actually just write that down as a day of no trades. It's absolutely fine to not trade on a day if you're day trading. Journaling is going to absolutely fast track your progress, and 100% cannot stress that enough. As a beginner trader, it's absolutely imperative to journal. Like I said, I use Excel sheets, and I've been using that since I started last January in 2024. And it's been really, really helpful just to witness, where I've made big losses time and time again, and what state of mind I was in. And for women, this is also very correlative. What I've worked out with trading is for a week before my moon cycle, my trading doesn't go as well. And so I simply just decided to not trade a few days before my moon cycle. And this has actually worked in my favor. And so it's a really, really good piece of advice for us female traders out there, especially beginners. Tip number 4 is find yourself a very good mentor who has successfully worked in the trading field for a really long time. Don't waste time through trial and error and spend years and years of wasted energy and time and potentially money trying to invent the wheel yourself. Get yourself a really good mentor who can show you the way and save you so much time, mental, physical energy, and inner peace by just teaching you what he or she already knows and can show you exactly what to do within the markets, especially as a beginner. Having a mentor, and that goes through anything in life. If you want to do well at something, you want to do well at a particular sport, or you want to learn something, you get a teacher. You get someone that's already walked the path before you. So I can't stress this enough. And I got a mentor from the very beginning. In fact, because I've been in the trading industry for almost, well, on and off now for about 9 years. I actually got a trading mentor about 5 years ago, but I just didn't take it seriously. I wasn't ready to dive deep into it until January 2024, and I got a second mentor, and this one was absolutely amazing, and he actually taught me so much. And I really hold so much respect in him and with high regard, because, wow, I'm so grateful to everything he taught me. But what's quite funny about it is that he did teach me so many amazing things. And I still went off and made my own mistakes. Even though he told me exactly what to do and what not to do, I went in a full circle, made all the mistakes, and then come back and I was like holding my tail between my legs and was like, yeah, you were right. So you may do the same thing, and that's your journey. And that was obviously my journey. And I'm a Sagittarius and I need to learn by mistakes. This is just the way I operate. You may be similar. So just bear in mind that even if you have a mentor, you may not even really listen at the beginning to what they've got to say. Even if they're successful, you'll still want to try your own thing. You may think, oh, surely I can do better than this. There must be a better way. There must be a more, maybe there must be even a more, what's the word I'm looking for? There may be a more complex way that will make me more money. And that's what I thought. It can't be this simple. Like, this strategy can't be this simple. There must be more to it. Trading's so complex in my mind. I thought this trading is so complicated. And actually I went all the way around and then went back to what he taught me. And I was like, you're so right. And I guess I just had to go through that. So just bear that in mind. If you do get a mentor, don't give yourself a hard time if you don't actually listen to them fully and you end up going on your own path for a bit, because you will end up coming back to what they're sharing and you will humbly come back and say, yep, you were right, and you'll continue with your journey. So tip number 5 is making sure that you have a very solid and reputable platform that you use to trade. Now, there are many trading platforms out there. Personally, I use TradingView, and I have both TradingView on my laptop and on my phone. And I shared earlier that I do my analysis on my laptop, but I actually execute my trades on my MT4 app. So there's MT4, which is MetaTrader 4, and MT5, MetaTrader 5. Both are very similar. One's just an upgrade. Obviously, the number 5 is just an upgrade. And I do all my analysis, like I say, on my laptop, on TradingView. I don't even pay for the premium because I don't need it. And I still do okay with my trading. So I don't need to, and you don't also need to spend loads of money on TradingView or whichever platform you decide to use and use all these complex indicators. It's really not necessary. And so just keep that in mind. Set yourself up a basic non-paid account on TradingView. And this is an extremely reputable, it's number 1 in the world. It's worldwide used. And it's extremely solid and reliable. And like I say, you can also use MetaTrader 4 and 5 on your laptop. However, I personally just use it on my phone, and that system works for me. Now, I also do what's called funded trading. So I use a company called FTMO, where I don't actually use my own money to trade, apart from the money that I've used to buy the account with. I use a company called FTMO, and basically it's leveraged accounts. So this is also really helpful if you say you don't want to spend a load of your own money or you don't have a lot of capital to trade with. Then using or exploring certain funded account companies could be really a good option for you. However, as a very beginner trader, I wouldn't even be thinking about funded trading just yet. And I'm going to be talking about funded trading in a different video in more detail. So for now, try not to worry about it. If you are interested in looking into funded trading, like I say, I use a company called FTMO, and this is, for me so far, it's been amazing. And I have blown accounts on there already in the past, but now I'm not blowing my accounts and it's going well. So yay. And all the links to the platforms I will put in the description below. And like I say, none of them are affiliated. It's just to help you get to the platforms that I use easily and carefully. Tip number 6 is trading in a quiet and calm space. So making sure that where you're trading is peaceful, it's quiet, you're not in a busy area, you can think clearly, you don't have any distractions, you close down your social media apps, you don't have Instagram open, you don't have Facebook, you don't have WhatsApp open. You can even put your phone on do not disturb, and you're extremely focused in your quiet, solitudinal space so that you can completely get in the zone of your trades, because you need focus. You absolutely need to be focused. And if you haven't got a clear, calm mind because you're not in a quiet space, then this is going to result in poor decisions within your trading. You really need to start treating your trading time as a sacred practice, because like I mentioned earlier in the previous video, trading is also very much a spiritual journey, like within ourselves. And so treat it like that, meditate before, deep breathe before, get into a centered space, come into a quiet place. Personally, I choose to trade either in this room or I live in Koh Phangan in Thailand, and so I go into cafes and I make sure that I'm in a quiet area or a quiet cafe, because there's quite a few of them here, and this helps me to clear. And also, what I also find really helpful is having the earbuds that are noise cancelling. That's also amazing. So if there's like screaming children or something around me, then I'll just put them in and I can't hear anything, and I can just really focus on my trades. Tip number 7 is what I like to call the 4 ones. What do I mean by this? Pick yourself, and especially if you're a beginner trader, stick with this in the beginning. If you're a beginner trader, have one simple strategy that you rinse and repeat. You trade with one asset, whether that's Forex, whether that's cryptocurrency, whether it's indices, whether it's futures. Stick with one, learn it well. Pick one time frame and one session time. Session times meaning we have Asia, London, and New York. Personally, I trade in Asia time frame, which here in Thailand is 3 p.m. in the afternoon. If you're in London or you're in the UK, then great. It starts at 8 a.m. where you are. Pre-market's 7. London starts at 8. And New York here starts at around 7 p.m. It's 12 hours ahead. Anyway, I don't want to get you confused with my times. I'm going to repeat that. As a beginner trader, you need one simple strategy that you rinse and repeat. Pick one asset and learn it really well. Form a relationship with it. Stare at it for hours on end. This is literally what I've done in the past over a year and a half. I stare at Euro USD deeper than you can even imagine. It's literally a relationship. Choose one time frame. Again, I'll talk to you about that in another video. But one time frame on TradingView, whether that's the daily time frame, whether that's a 4-hour time frame, whether that's a 15 minutes, 5 minutes, 1 minute. Pick one and trade with it. As you progress, we can use more time frames, but at the beginning it's good to just pick one time frame just to keep things simple. And you can use the lower time frames to home in on your entry to make your entry more refined. But as a beginner, I would recommend you starting with the higher time frames, which is also known as swing trading, because this is less stressful than day trading and scalping, which is often done on the lower time frames, which is a lot more volatile and a lot more stressful. So I would pick a higher time frame, maybe the 4-hour or the 1 hour, so that it's not as stressful, and one session time. So depending on where you are in the world, if that's Asia, if that's London, if that's New York, personally I trade the London time frame. New York is way too late for me. By the time it gets going, it's 9:30, 10 p.m. and I'm ready for bed at that time, and there's no way I'm looking at the trading charts at 10 p.m. here. Not happening. So spend time deciding which strategy is going to be good for you, and I'll talk about strategy in another video and the strategies that I use. Personally, I use a combination of what we call market structure and ICT concepts. So I use a combination of these two things in my trades, and I've refined this, and I've been consistently profitable since February this year. And my trading results I show on my insights stories on Instagram if you want to check. And I'm pretty low-key about sharing results, because I'm just not one of these people who are going to just give out all my sharing results worldwide. So I keep it quite subtle and low-key. But if you wanted to check the way I trade and my results, they're on my highlights on Instagram on the first page. So why the 4 ones? Because what this does is it creates a lot of confidence within your trading plan. It creates a solid trading plan, and it also allows you to have a steady approach. So every day you know exactly what you're doing. You don't look at anything else. You don't look at other assets. You don't look at other timeframes. You know exactly what you're doing every single day or every single week, depending on your trading style. And you stick to the same thing, and you rinse and repeat, and you rinse and repeat. Don't forget, trading should be boring, and it will become boring. If it's not boring, then you're going over your trading plan. You're going outside of your trading plan and your trading rules. And so it should be a boring process. And so sticking to these 4 ones, especially at the beginning, is going to keep your mind a lot calmer, your body a lot calmer. You're not going to be as stressed, and you're going to make a lot more concerted, methodical decisions, which will result in better results. And this leads me into the final tip, number 8. As a beginner, I would strongly recommend you using paper trading account to begin with, at least for the first 2 to 3 months. Why do I recommend this? And why does so many other people recommend this? And why did I learn actually for 6 months, if not more, on paper trading? Because you have no idea what you're doing at the beginning. And if you go in the markets and start trading your own capital and your own money, you can guarantee this is not going to end well. And this is what so many retailer traders do. They go into the market, they see the market moving up, and they think, okay, cool, I'm just going to put all my money on this. Bam. And before they know it, they've lost all their money. And they say, oh my God, trading is a scam. It's such a load of BS. And this is why so many people give up. Now, if you use a paper trading account, which by the way, TradingView has an incredible paper trading element on the platform, I highly recommend you using this and really learning the 4 ones which I just spoke about, getting familiar with your strategy, choosing the asset you want to trade, choosing and getting familiar with the time frames and the way your asset moves within the time frame. And then also working out which session time you want to do and execute your trades using the paper trading tool. And this just gives you so much more peace of mind. Now, let's say you've been trading on paper trading, which by the way is simulated money and there's no real money involved, but you are trading on the real market. And so it does feel like you're in there, you know, you feel like you're a part of the trading market. And so it feels good. And you learn how to set your lot size. Say, for example, you're trading Forex, you set your lot size correctly, then you will feel a lot more confident as you learn and you grow. And as you become more consistent with winning your trades on paper, then after 2 or 3 months of consistency, can you then even begin to consider using real money? But not until then. And by the way, when you do start using real money, you will start to see your emotions are completely different. The frustration, the worry, the fear, all of these things start to increase because, of course, you've been trading on paper and it doesn't matter whether you lose a trade or not. So what I advise to my students is that really train your brain to think that the paper trading is your real account. You can do it. I learned and taught myself to do it. Trade as if on the paper account as if it's your real account. And this really, really helped me to then, when I transferred to real money and funded accounts, it was a really smooth transition. It wasn't like I went from no emotion to all these emotions. It was like, no, I've been treating my paper trade as if it's my real money. And those figures that I see in drawdown or in profit, wow, that I program my brain to think this is real. And that actually really, really, really helped the transition from the paper to the real account. And then also when you do decide to start using real money, then get yourself a reputable broker, one that is respected, reputable, and very reliable with the withdrawal systems. For example, make sure you check the reviews. Personally, I use IC Markets, and I've always held them with high regard because they've always been very good, and I've never had any issues with them at all. And again, I'll link that in the description below. And this brings me to the end of this video and the 8 steps that you absolutely need in order to start your journey as a beginner trader. And I really trust that these have been very helpful for you. And just as a final note, don't forget, this journey it's a long road. And if you're really passionate about trading, then you need to accept that it's going to take time, and it requires the inner work within ourselves. It requires patience. It requires consistency every single day, learning every single day, dedication, making sure that you're showing up all the time in order for you to actually see progress. It's not just going to happen overnight, and just be really patient with yourself because of that. Just understand that this is really a long game. And remember, you also don't need to rush. We live in such a rushed world where everything needs to be done now, and everything is so immediate, and so everyone wants everything now. And with trading, if you go with that mindset, then you will be humbled really quickly, because it's definitely a journey to take in a very stoic, calm, and methodical and patient way. Because what will happen over time, if you aim for kind of 3% a week profit growth on your trading account, then this is incredible progress. And if you add that up and compound that over time, you will see incredible results. Of course, you're going to have winning weeks and losing weeks. You're going to have winning months and losing months. Even the best traders have winning and losing months. So if you can kind of accept that that's part of the journey and the road as well, then you will start to soften when you realize that it isn't going to be 100% wins all the time. And just to also enjoy the process. If you aren't passionate about this industry and you're in it just for the money, then you will simply burn out. It's not going to be for you. So you just really need to figure out if it's for you. Use the paper trading account in TradingView and just have a play with it, and just really see and assess if it's for you, because this world is definitely not for everybody. My sister, for example, she's like, what is this? She looks at the charts and she's like, this is so boring. I'm like, I don't know. My brain just works in this way. My brain is like quite mathematical and scientific, and I'm grateful to my parents for that. And so for me, it just works for me. But if it's not your game to stare at candlesticks and charts and money and figures and all of this kind of stuff, then it's not for you, and that's okay. But if you're kind of wanting to get into it and you're not really sure, then go into the paper trading account in TradingView, set yourself up a free account, and just experiment and play around and see if it is for you. And you never know, you might find that it is. Anyway, I want to thank you again if you've got this far, and I really trust that you've enjoyed this video. And please don't forget to like and subscribe. And if there's anything you want me to talk about on another video, please comment in the comment section below. And if there's anything you want me to elaborate in this one, please comment. And also don't forget that there's a link below to my free ebook, which is for the beginner's guide for conscious trading. Thank you so much for your time, your patience, and happy trading.